welcome back to Make Sense of Math. I am Michelle and I am so glad that you are here with me today. Today I want to talk about a strategy as teachers that is so important. It's a way to get your students engaged or, have them checked out for an entire unit. And that is, how do you launch a topic, a new topic or a new subject in your middle school math classroom? If you do it incorrectly, if you maybe start launching it with, here's the formula for, or here's the equation, or here's the procedure for doing this type of problem, you're gonna get students checked out from day one, possibly for the entire unit. You want the students engaged. So what I like to do is this strategy that I remember it by the 3 C's. The 3 C's are curiosity, connection, and conceptual understanding. So, number 1, to build curiosity. When I am launching a new topic in my math classroom, I don't even tell my students what it is to begin with. I just give them a story problem and I will say, all right, figure this out. Now, to make this successful, I will often put them either in pairs or groups of 3. I think groups of 4 is too much for this because it's easy for a student to kind of check out and not engage in the activity. So groups of 2 or 3, and you're going to give them a problem that they're just going to have to be able to figure it out. Now, at the end of the unit, like if you've given this problem, they're going to have their skills and their strategies to figure it out. But at this point, they have to rely on prior knowledge and logically thinking it through. And it may be like guess and check. And they may not get the answer exactly, but maybe they will get close to the answer, all right? Now, so I put them in groups of 2 or 3, and what I do as they are working through this problem is I walk around the room, and your goal is to give them confidence that they can figure this out, right? So maybe one group needs a little bit more help than another group. Now, you're not going to tell them what to do. You are going to ask guiding questions if they are stuck and kind of lead them to figure it out, right? Now, maybe some groups will need more support from you than other groups. It just kind of depends on the group and the students. But you want them to be successful. So you need to provide enough support to them that they can figure it out and be successful, but not so much support for them that you are doing the thinking for them, right? You want them to be confident in their ability to figure this out. When I did this with solving equations, it was systems of equations, and I just put them in groups of 2 or 3, and I said, all right, figure this out. And it was amazing. A lot of them just did tables, and their tables were so inefficient, but at the same time, they were so effective in figuring this out. And as they are working on these problems, you're going to walk around the classroom. One, I already talked about, give them support that they need. And I want you to take note of how they are solving the problem. Maybe one group is using tables, maybe another group is using some type of graph, maybe another group is using some type of bar model, maybe another group is just guessing and checking, maybe another group is using logical reasoning, whatever it is. I want you to make note of that. And then after they finish this and they got the answer, we have students present to the class, right? Or talk about their strategies that they use to solve the problem. Now, I will specifically say, will you guys talk about how you use a table to solve it? Will you guys talk about how you use guess and check to solve it? Or will you guys talk about how you use logical reasoning to solve it? Because I don't necessarily want to waste time by people presenting the same ways. So you want to be selective, and you may not even need all your groups to present. You just need enough groups to get enough ideas out there, different ways they could solve it, and what worked and what didn't work, and what was effective, what was efficient, what was not efficient. And so you're just sparking their curiosity and their understanding of these types of problems, right? So that's number 1, is curiosity. Now, number 2 is connection. You need to connect the content to prior knowledge. I like to do this when the students were presenting, because if they're going to present, for example, say I used a table, you can connect, tables are prior knowledge, and so you can connect with that, and you can even talk about, maybe they didn't do this, but maybe you can even talk about how you can create an equation from the table, right? And so I'm talking about systems of equations. But like they should probably have already known how to do equations from tables at that point. Not necessarily saying that they did that in that problem, but you could connect them and say, okay, we have this table. We've done equations from tables before. How can we write an equation from this table? And so we're like creating these equations, and maybe somebody used a graph. And so you can talk about how the points on the line are the solutions to the equation. Anyways, so as they're presenting, you can connect to prior knowledge, right? Because you need to help them build on past knowledge, and that will help their retention of the information. Okay, so number 2 is connection. And number 3 is conceptual understanding, right? So once the students have their curiosity sparked of what they're doing and have connected to prior knowledge, you need to start right off and go to conceptual understanding, whether that be algebra tiles, very conceptual, understanding of what is going on. I take a couple days or week with conceptual understanding. I do not move on from conceptual understanding till I can see that everybody has an understanding conceptually of what is going on, right? And that may take a while, but they will not retain the abstract very well if they don't understand the conceptual. So spend however long you need on conceptual understanding, and then you can move to the abstract. All right, so those are my 3 strategies to launch any new topic in your math classroom. Number 1, curiosity. Number 2, connection. And number 3 is conceptual understanding. And I have found when I launch a topic using those 3 strategies, the students will be engaged for the unit, and they will feel confident. It helps them build their growth mindset that they can figure it out, because they figured out the problem at the beginning on day 1, and so they can do this. And the conceptual understanding helps them to retain the information. So that's what I got for today. Have a good one.